Good morning, Moore Elementary students and staff. Today is Friday, October 23rd, 2020. Good morning, Miss Fusi.
Good morning, Mr. Quall.
We will start with our joke of the day. What monster plays tricks on Halloween? What monster plays tricks on Halloween? A Prankenstein.
Oh, boy.
Frankenstein, yeah.
That's getting pretty funny.
Yeah, the kids, my kids love these dad jokes.
Absolutely.
Instead of two jokes today, we're going to give you a random fact of the day. You can see it over our shoulder here. According to the Guinness World Record, the highest number of lit jack-o'-lanterns on display all at once was 30,581, and it was in the city of Keene, New Hampshire, way back in 2013. So that's a lot of jack-o'-lanterns right there.
Crazy amount of jack-o'-lanterns. And now we're going to move on to the social worker's quote of the week. Before you speak, think and ask yourself, is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? Or is it kind? If so, go ahead and say what you need to say.
We're here at Moore Elementary to build students up and not to rip them down. So that's great advice from our social workers.
Yes.
Halloween is right around the corner, so we want to go over the Halloween expectations for all of our grade levels. We certainly do want you to enjoy Halloween in your classroom. If you choose to wear a costume, especially you older students, you need to make sure it's appropriate. Gore, blood, scary, overtly scary costumes just aren't going to be allowed. And last year, our older students wore costumes for the first time and did a great job overall. There were a couple that kind of pushed it, so that's why we want to make sure that everyone's clear about this announcement. You think of a very scary clown or a very scary skeleton. We're here with pre-K through 6th grade, and we want to make sure that everyone is enjoying those costumes.
Yeah, so make sure you're not wearing masks because we will ask you to take them off. But we all need a fun day at school, so let's make sure it's all pleasurable for everybody.
And Ms. Fusi brings up a good point. Masks that we're wearing still today would still be necessary for Halloween. She's talking about the Halloween mask in
Covering
general.
the whole face.
And now we have some Halloween facts from Haley and Nevaeh in Mrs. Gustafson's class.
I'm Haley,
And I'm Nevaeh.
and we're here to talk about Halloween traditions and facts today. So since Halloween is around the corner, we decided to share some traditions and facts about Halloween.
The tradition of Halloween originated with the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, when people would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off ghosts. Over time, Halloween evolved into a day of activities like trick-or-treating, festive gatherings, and eating treats.
This night was considered an evil night when spirits roamed the streets and villages. Lord Samhain, the Lord of Darkness, would arrive in the search of the spirits to take them to the underworld.
Another thing most people do in present time is carving pumpkins, but actually, jack-o'-lanterns originated in Ireland, where people placed candles in hollowed-out turnips to keep away spirits and ghosts on the holiday.
A lot of traditions came from Ireland and the United Kingdom, like trick-or-treating, carving pumpkins, and a lot of other things. Did you know that candy corn was originally called chicken feed?
And bobbing for apples came from Britain. And Samhain is an Irish festival, and it means end of summer. And since Ireland is it has so many traditions, we'll want to show you Ireland's right there, and Britain's right there. I think, yeah. You want to know a joke?
Sure.
How can you tell when a vampire has been in a bakery?
How?
Oh, the jelly has been sucked out of the donuts.
Oh my gosh.
And now we are going to move on to our PBIS theme of the week, our bus expectations, given to you by Tips by Tip.
Good morning, Mustangs. And I found my way back on the TV, so I think we all know what that means. It's time for the return of Tips by Tip. And I'm so excited. I know you're excited. The whole world's excited, so let's not waste any time. So Mustangs, without further ado, welcome to the new season of Tips by Tip. I'm your host, Mr. Tip, safety expert right here at Mora Elementary. So, for the first few episodes, we're going to be reviewing our Mustang rubric. It's the rubric on how to be respectful, responsible, and safe in different places in our school. So let's start down here with the bus. For the bus, we got be respectful, clean up after yourself, follow the directions of the driver, and act appropriately, always. Be responsible. Use kind language. Include anyone who's left out. That means like say hi or give them an elbow bump since we can't really do fist bumps right now. Also, to be responsible, use a quiet voice. We can also be safe. Stay seated. Keep hands, feet, and objects to yourself. And wait to exit your seat until the bus comes to a complete stop. I figured we'd start with buses today because that's how we start and end our days here at Moore Elementary, well, most of us. And since this year is a little different, we should remember things like wear our masks, space out when needed or if you can in your seats, and follow the bus driver's safety rules for this year in 2020 since they might be a little different than past years. So now, what if, Mr. Tip, what if we don't ride the bus? Well, if you're just getting dropped off by a parent or a guardian, you should always wear your seatbelt. Have your stuff packed up so you can exit the car in a timely manner and be a good, respectful passenger. Mr. Tip, what if we're walking or biking or scootering? Well, I know we've done some crosswalk videos that we might have to brush up on again, but make sure you're looking both ways. Use those crosswalks, and if they have the things that you press that show the lights, use those as well. Again, look both ways. I can't say it enough. And also be safe. And always remember, we're walking into the building when we arrive. So Mustangs, this concludes this year's first episode of Tips by Tip. I was glad I could break all this down for you. Get it? Break it down. Sorry, bad dance moves. Not much has changed here. We still got bad dancing, we still got good jokes, and we still got a lot of safety. I'm so happy to be back. And I know you all are glad too. So stay safe out there and have a great day, Mustangs.
Next week, we're going to do our first round of Katya prizes for September and October, and also our Mustang Pride. So make sure you get all of those slips in so you can be part of that extra bonus drawing that we have.
Mm-hmm. We have a lot of slips turned in, so keep them coming. Picture Retake Day is November 6th. This is Group B Day. Group A and Flex students will need to be brought to school from 8:30 to 12 to have their picture retaken. Retakes will take place in the Wellness Center. You will need to use the Wellness Center doors on the elementary side on November 6th from 8:30 to noon for picture retakes. Thank you.
We have had some winter weather this week, and we want to just update you on what our snow days in the future may look like. We have half of our students on most days that are distance learning, and the other half that is in person. On Wednesdays, we do have all students at home distance learning. But if it were to happen on a Monday, Tuesday, or a Thursday, Friday, where the A group or B group is in session, those students that are supposed to be face-to-face should look for information from their teachers via email or Google Classroom, and it'll have specific directions for what they should do differently on a snow day, so to speak.
Right.
If you were scheduled to be in distance learning anyway, your day wouldn't change. Those assignments are already pre-assigned, and you would go about your business just like a normal distance learning day. This is just for those students that were scheduled to be in our school. I know some grade levels are going to be doing activity cards like a bingo card. Some grade levels are going to have some scheduled Google Meets. It's different for each grade level, but all of those teachers will communicate the expectations by 9 o'clock on that day.
And please make sure you're doing your work because your work will count as your attendance. So just make sure you're getting it done, and some of the activities will be fun for you to do. All right. Well, make it a great day.
Or not, the
choice is always yours.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Mrs. Thor's A Group.